Kazakhstan has made a decision on the architectural design of the exposition site. The new exposition pavilion will be sphere-shaped. Sphere is one of the most prevailing shapes of the nature. The main pavilion of the World's Fair in 2017 may be given the name Yelbasi. World's leading architects presented their vision of the design of the future Expo town. Many highly acclaimed and widely recognized architects participated in the contest for the best Expo architecture idea. One of the most renowned women architects, Zaha Hadid, the experts of energy-efficient architecture Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill were among them. The architects from Chicago have eventually won the competition, besting the other 48 ideas presented to the public. Sphere is one of the most widespread natural shapes due to its structural efficiency. The future pavilion in the shape of a sphere will allow drawing inspiration from nature and developing new concept of environmentally friendly designs. The winning company of the contest has already designed many outstanding infrastructure buildings, such as Burj Khalifa in Dubai and Kingdom Tower in Saudi Arabia. I propose naming the biosphere as one of the research works of Nazarbayev. The term Yelbasi is already in use, and this sphere can be named in honor of your Yelbasi. It can become a symbol of a new human race as a single community that lives in peace and harmony. It's a beautiful journey into the future. According to Jeremy Rifkin, the chairman of the technical board of the competition, the winning project has presented the best idea in terms of its sustainable development, architectural and artistic design, and post-exposition use. The facilities of the Expo will accommodate the latest research laboratories, which will engage students and scholars in the development of alternative energy. It will be placed in the heart of the future Expo town between Bayterek and Nazarbayev University. The central sphere-shaped pavilion will have multiple floors. Its total area will amount to 24,000 square meters. For Chicago architects, this wasn't the first visit to Astana. They had previously flown from the United States to walk the streets of Astana and see if the city was indeed the city of seven winds. They were amazed by the oasis in the middle of the boundless steppe. That was when the image of a glowing sphere came to their minds. We have studied the history of Astana in Kazakhstan, seen the parks, buildings and overall landscape of the capital. And of course we have paid a lot of attention to the weather conditions. It's very windy here, and that surely helps to implement the idea of building the city that operates with the help of renewable energy. Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill are the two artists who set up an architecture design studio a few years ago in Chicago. Now they are called the blacksmith of the skyscrapers. Their achievements include the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa in Dubai, with the overall height of 828 meters. The surface area of the building can host up to 17 football fields. Besides their sympathy towards the tall buildings, the architects are also rare experts in energy-efficient architecture. For instance, Dubai Tower that they had designed is built as a town within a town, with its own lawns, boulevards and parks. The air inside the building is not only kept cool, but also has different flavors due to the special membranes. Fragrant and fresh air is supplied through a special grate on the floor. Glasses do not let the dust inside the building and also repel the sun rays, allowing for an optimal temperature maintained in the building. The distances between the buildings are designed so that they allow for maximum penetration of sunlight. The shapes of the building have smooth lines. This will reduce the wind resistance, allowing the wind to skirt the buildings rather than hitting them. The wind became the subject of a special study. Thus, the buildings are designed in streamlined shapes. The transitional corridors can give shelter for pedestrians from the northern wind. They will be supplied with autonomous heating systems. These corridors will lead to the main pavilion. The architects call it a yurt, however, the resemblance is vague. In fact, the architects see the biosphere as the very embodiment of traditional homes. The window blinds will be equipped with photovoltaic cells, so that even with the windows closed, the energy of the sun will be collected efficiently. This crystal yurt will be the main battery accumulating all energy flows. Every building of the new town will be provided with solar panels and wind installations. Each facility will either generate power or minimize its consumption. The facades of houses will be decorated with trees. Heavenly gardens should break the airflow and reduce the wind load on the building. Rainwater will also be in use. The Expo town will host a greenhouse that will operate on wind energy. It will enable the residents to have fresh fruit all year round. The head of a state has personally approved the winning architectural sketch of the Expo 2017 at the special meeting. The total area of the Expo complex will be about 173.4 hectares. The display pavilions will take 25 hectares. Associated infrastructure will cover the rest area. The town will also have a residential area of 586,465 square meters. The construction of the Expo town is planned in Yesil district, in a square of streets and avenues of Kabanbay-Batyra, Hussein bin Talal, Orenbor and Raskulov. The construction will start in March or April of 2014. Electric cars and hydrogen buses will tour the territory of the Expo. The complex is expected to be entirely operated on green energy. The surplus of electricity will be sold to the city. This whole area belongs to the future Expo town, and all residential buildings in this area should have relevance to the fair. And from there, you will enjoy the sunny day and steppe winds. After the official decision has been made, the experts are engaged in a feasibility study and are calculating the costs. First thing that needs resolving is the financing aspect. We need to attract investment. The Expo should not become detrimental. I have said that from the first day. Another important aspect is the post-Expo use of the new buildings. A little earlier, at an enlarged government meeting, President Nursultan Nazarbayev instructed to continue preparation to the World Fair in Astana and make proper use of 150 billion tenge of unused funds. Meanwhile, real estate in Kazakhstan continues to increase in price. During this year, the cost of private houses increased by 16.5% and price for apartments grew by 14%. According to a local real estate research portal, the average price of apartments in the country amounts to $628 per square meter. This figure is 14% higher than the last year's indicators. The price of apartments in new residential building have soared the most. Houses have grown in price by 13.5% throughout the country. As of October 2014, the average price of houses in Kazakhstan amounts to 31,574,000 tenge or $204,960.